All right, what's up, everybody? We're back. We're doing it again. Appreciate all the viewers, comments, feedback from the first video I did recapping the finals. So my dude Will Rodriguez reached out and asked me to kind of talk through this match. He thought it was Troy's best match of the tournament. Troy Field, bit of a breakout performance, making it all the way to the finals and making a pretty good run in that match as well. So this is the third match for both of these teams. It is the game to get into the crossover. This happened on Saturday on Stadium Court. It's the 1 seed Bourne and Trevor Crabb against Troy Field and Chase Budinger. So let's get into it without further ado. My last one was like 54 minutes, so we're going to try to keep this one to like a half hour. So I'll talk faster and skip more. Yes, I have a mic. No, I didn't pay for it. My dude, Frank, my coworker, hooked me up. So we're giving this a go. Hopefully the audio quality is a little bit better. The video is still going to have that goofy little StreamYard thing in the corner. Caleb, I appreciate the call out on that software you told me to grab. I'll hit you up for tech support, but I had a couple Miller Lights and wanted to talk through this one. So let's get after it. Okay, so here we go. Chase Troy, Team Oakley, chasing M2s, Troy and Sutro Lights. I believe Troy is wearing some type of Costa. So I mean, if I was handicapping this, I would give the edge to Troy and Chase based on that alone. Let me change the screen orientation so I am smaller and less visible. I talked about the win for like 20 minutes in the last stream, so I'm not going to do that as much. Just know that Troy and Chase are on the good side. And this match is actually pretty wild. So it starts with an ace up the seam. Pretty standard there. I feel like that's probably Trevor's ball to reach into since Troy started a little bit right of the center line. He's got to cover that. I watched this last night and it ended up being like a bingo card of weird things that you should never see in a professional match. It's a good tool off the block, a decent touch by Troy there, but not a legitimate chance to score a reel there. Let me see if I can get my shortcuts here so we can skip through a little bit better. One of the things I noticed here, like the setup position of Chase and Troy is glaringly different. So I said I wasn't going to do this, but I am. Being downwind, I feel like it's going to be really hard to get a short ball in here. Chase is far too shallow for me. Troy, I think, is in a better position, if not maybe a touch deep. I think there's some middle ground between the two where they should be set up. Chase just looks very shallow here. And I think it affects the next couple plays. So he's reaching back a little bit with that platform, has to kind of hunch his shoulders. It's not a terrible pass. Troy just chucks it. I think they go right back to it and get similarly not a perfect in-system ball. That pass is not too shooty, but leading his partner too tight to the net, which he's a little late to get his hands there, causing the double. Same thing here. Too shallow. It's a little shorter serve, so he deals with it better. Set pulls him off. Reaching back for it. Can't see the blocker. Hot start for Bourne and Crabb. I'm second guessing that score. How did this start? Troy had an ace. Then they had a tool off the block. Then a double. Then a block. Should be 3-1, right? What am I missing? Good set here. Everything in system. High line. All right, they switched the score. Oh, only had 2. All right, 2-3, Chase and Troy testing the win there with the sand kick. So this is one thing. No, it's next point. So swing out. Everything looked fine there. I say you just blow up the peeler there or hit it low to his right shoulder where he has to be peeling, reach down and get the ball. It's the right swing to go at the peeling blocker. Little harder reaction for him. This was one that was wild. Like this match just started crazy. Like that is a foot fault called on a standing float serve. Like how is that possible? You're not moving your feet. I don't know if he was dug in underneath the line. There's a bit of a conversation after this, but that one was baffling to me. 4-3 on the switch. Ugly game so far. Some errors. Take on 2 out of bounds. Catch the block. Oh, not out of bounds. Sorry. Cool. I'll get it together. 4-4. Serve out. So Will recommended this, and I expected to see this hotly contested, really high-level match. I thought it was just kind of sloppy and gross throughout. All in all, I would say Troy was the best player on the court. We'll look at the stats afterwards like we did with the other video. It was just kind of back and forth, and I don't think anybody really took charge until late in game 2. That last swing is just Troy being Troy, swinging high hands. In system, nobody is stopping that right now. It's a good touch there by Troy. Dust off the shades. Everything good so far. Sneaks it underneath. So having a hitter that hits so high, you don't want to get straight OT, which forces you to go a little bit more vertical on the jump and block, which just leaves a lot more angle. Tape serve. Similar to the ball that Chase got blocked on by Try earlier. Trevor's just reaching back a little bit for this. And any bit of vision you lose of that blocker puts you in a tough spot. We'll watch it again here. No cover chances. 3-run by Troy and Chase. Just a little bit too sharp on that cut there. 7-7 on the switch. Serve receive position is a little bit better, but still shallow from Chase. It's a shooty, quick pass that Troy has to get to. Does a great job with it. Gets Chase in a perfect spot. I think the pass could be either a little bit further off the net so Troy could lead that set into him, or a little bit higher so he has more time to get under it. Good high line there. Troy makes runs at these all match, which is something I absolutely do not do because I'm not a good defender. But if you can show that offensive player that you're getting close to that ball, it puts in the back of their mind that they have to be really crisp and get that ball to the line. It's not a ball that Troy gets up. He's a foot away from it, but he's only a foot away from it. I just stand flat-footed and just let it score. Good hold and change there. It's a good touch by Trevor. That's that ball that Trevor, like there's not a ton of pace there where he tried to pace the one at Chase earlier and hit it out of bounds. You just catch the defender that's peeling in a weird spot. It's a hard play. And they get a point out of it. Good soft block touch there. Created that point. Serve out. 9-9. Good serve there. High topspin. That ball is going to dip onto the back line. Trevor has to play it, but Moving forward is far easier than moving backwards. It's just a good serve. Just eats him up. 10-9. This one's going to be in system. Lets that set get a little low. That's a crazy cover by Try. They replay this. He's in a great position for it, and it actually gets blocked to a good spot too if you're chasing Troy. Try reaches outside of his body to bring this into the net. Great stab there. And then pokey cross. Really good transition set. Trevor not great with the footwork on the dig. Was going to play a short cut. And Chase kind of hits it right at him with not a ton of pace. He wasn't expecting that. It's a good block by Chase. 11-10 on the switch. Feels very sloppy. I felt that way through the whole match. Kind of errors, not super crisp play. See the bracket there. And here we come out of the technical. Good take on two. Chase is just kind of standing there. I don't know if Trevor was just too prepared with a platform there. Didn't have time to get his hands up. It's a reaction play by Chase. Great set there by Troy. Just give your partner a chance. If you watch Trevor's move here, very committed to a platform. Probably not a ball that was going to get in front of him based on the angle and where that set was coming from. Good high line there. 1-2. Big ones. Another serve that eats up serve receive. Feel like Chase was trending towards shooty sets. And then with this ball dipping with the topspin and the wind, shoots it underneath the tape. 12-12. So this game's tight. But to me, it's just because both teams are playing kind of bad. In system play there. The correct shot over the block. Still gets a touch on it, but not enough to bring the defender into play. This ends up looking way worse than it actually is. It's a soft touch on the block. Plays it into the net. Looks very amateurish, but I think that's a tough play. 13s. There was some trash talk back and forth throughout this whole match. I don't know if these guys are buddies playing a lot or if that's just Trevor and Try's MO now. He seemed to jaw with a little bit of everybody. Could just be what gets him going. Good in-system swing there. Would always be a tough dig with that pace. Hit it right at him. Made a good touch with the platform, but just tough to control that speed. Troy was pretty excited about this one. Chase stays pretty true to the line here. I don't know if this is an overlap or a read by Troy. Either way, it's a great play. In system, Troy was terminating this whole tournament. Just want to watch this block again. Chase doesn't sell out to jump to the middle of the court. He's kind of up and down into the seam. Inside set, making sure it stays on the right shoulder of Troy. And he handles it. 15-13. Hitting percentage discrepancy is crazy. There's another bingo card stat that we're going to see from game one, which I don't know if you'll ever see it out of a player of this caliber. But it's kind of interesting. I'll touch on it when we get through game one and we're skipping into game two. After we learn about Hidden Valley Rice. And Lexington. Don't let him fool you. It's just okay. Miss serve. Chase and Troy in the driver's seat here. Have the spread that they need. Just side outs from here. Those are Costas. Good, not great. Really good block here. Chase doesn't move his body, which gives the illusion that there's a lot of line open, but he reaches super low and presses hard with his right hand and left, kind of trail it. Sorry, that's work messages. Seven four, huge reel there. Good run by Troy. Tight set, swings high hands. That's a little bit spinny on the set. Gets away with it. Troy's excited. Timeout coming. A little bit too late. Probably would have called it when they got to 17-14. Even if you come out of this timeout, you score your side out, and then you score two reels, you're still switching down a point and serving. I would have called it at 7-4. Spike of the day is a bit of a reach for me. It's kind of a hard swing at the defender's platform. But here we go. 8-4 coming out of the timeout. Chase and Troy in the driver's seat. I kind of want to screen grab this like 6 seconds of volleyball and comment it back when Will was like, this is Troy's best match of the tournament. I know he played great. He played great all tournament. But if you take this out of context, it's not a great serve. 15-18, especially coming out of the timeout. Scored a couple reels. Let's make them pass. Really good dig there by Troy. Really bad shot there by Troy. End up losing this point on an error there. We can go back and watch this. There's a lot going on here. The pass is good. It's still low in terms of what these guys generally play, where they slow in-system balls down. It's a high set. You get to your spot to make your approach. A high pass, then a high set. This is a little shooty, but it's short enough in the court where Troy can get there and put his hands on it. It's a good set. Trevor does get his hands up on this one. Good dig. This dig was super impressive. It's the perfect swing by Trevor. He's reaching outside of his body, goes low, deep seam in the middle, and Troy goes down and gets it. This shot isn't my favorite. If you're going to hit a roll shot, I just as soon take the blocker out of play. I get that you have a defender running in the back and you want to keep it away from them as well. But when he hits this ball, if it's a little bit deeper, I still think Trevor might get there because it's kind of in the middle of the court. But to let the blocker play it, don't love it. They do get it up and they get another attack at it, but Chase curls it out of bounds. We're going to see a replay here. I don't know if they called their timeout. Nope. This is a bit of a bummer, and it happens sometimes throughout. They're trying to show replays of this, but play has already started, so we miss whatever happened there. I have to assume that it was a missed serve based on how quickly this ended. But in terms of Try and Trevor having any chance at game one, that point was pivotal. and we just didn't get to enjoy it. Chase standing another foot back to make sure he doesn't foot fault. And high hands to the deep corner, 17-19. It's all pretty routine from here as long as you handle your own side for Chase and Troy. Troy's got to be aggressive back here at the service line. And it's a good serve. It's a really good pass by Troy. Not my favorite. You have the defenders on their heels, but he's giving away the take too early. I would set up to set that ball, but he's taking an approach into it, and he's still 10 feet off. If you want to sell that 2-ball, I would get under it to set, let Chase have to set up for try swing, and then take it. That's just a little too early, and then compounds it with a hitting error. 07 here. Another miss serve. Pretty close, though. And 18-20. Originally, I thought he hit that ball out of bounds. I don't know if they show a replay of this one or not. It had to tool, try, or catch the outside of the line. It's a good high swing. And that finishes off game one. So the one stat that I was talking about, and I don't have it queued up, and I don't want to give away match stats, so I'm not going to jump there now, but Try hit 0 in game one, which isn't great. When we look at the final stats, you'll see that they targeted Trevor quite a bit more, and his numbers were okay. I think Try had something like 5 attempts in game one, and maybe had like 1 kill, 1 error, but it netted out to him hitting 0, which these guys are pretty good to hit 0 in a game. So that was a bit of a standout to me. Try to get through game 2 quickly here. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. So hitting percentage, very bad. 5 errors. I had 1 block. Aces to errors is fine. Aces to errors for Budinger and Field, a little bit worse, but still okay. 3 blocks helps almost all the time, unless the dig stats are wildly out of control, which they weren't. Jason Troy starting on the bad side. Running it back here. It's a good set. Lets it drift into the hitter. Chase makes an error. Everything good, 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 bad. Also bad. It's a good high swing by Troy. They get a free ball, essentially. It's not a bad idea to put your partner up there. Should have a lot of angles with a defense that's not in position and no block. To miss it deep is it's not good for me. Don't even really need a ton of pace there. I don't know if Trevor was stopping to get back to a cut here. If he runs through this, he's got a better chance. It's probably just a good shot, and they're running a 4. So Trevor's just running for a shot, but he does get a shot. I think it just has to be a little bit more of a down ball than something that Chase is trying to lift over, tries block. Yeah, it's curling to the sideline. It's a good shot. Still a 2-1 lead. Good deep middle swing. It's a good touch by Troy. That was always a bit of a prayer, but if you get that one going forward, it feels like a huge bonus. Check out climatecandy.com. What is that? Tripler slows that one down. Another double. Looking at you, Will. 4-1 start. So, like, The thought for me here, if I'm on the serving side, is let's stay aggressive here, force them to side out, but you're up 4-1, so you start doing that math in your head. At worst, you want to switch up 5-2. So you give up a side out, but you have a chance to side out. 5-2 switch. I mean, you can switch 4-3 all game, and things are going to work out pretty good. But a 5-2 switch to start the game is terrific, especially what you need coming off losing a game. It's a good 2-ball take there, turning line. Hilarious that Trevor would throw his hands up like, oh, it's out, I didn't touch it. Okay. 2-4. Really loopy cut shot. Let's take a look at that again. I don't know if there was a need for it to go that high. If you look where Chase's hands are in relation to this, he could have gone a lot lower with that. It's still a good run by Troy. It's a great touch. And also your back in system. You don't get a full approach there. A little stare down after that block. So this was worst case scenario, but like it feels like you're losing a little momentum. But all things considered, you're up 4-3. You started serving this game. So you've already flipped the advantage of receive. And you're still receiving. So you still have your 2-point spread if you handle things on your side. Big numbers guy. The cross is open and it's just missed. So that's 2 shots in a row. Trying to be too perfect. Troy's not moving for this ball. He's set up in a 2. Like he's blocking line there. Or sorry, digging line. Chase is blocking 2. Ton of court to miss this one. Now we're tied. Everything good here. High hands on the hard cross. And we're going to get an error for the new Top Gun movie. Whew. For lovers of real volleyball to post a Top Gun commercial is a little bit ironic. Five, 4 in system. I wonder if they show a replay of this. Try look like he was in an okay spot. I don't know if this split him or just went wide of him, but it's a good seam swing. I'm not going to show us again. Well, at least we're not missing the next point. 5-5. Good diving serve there. Top spin, but also some side spin. Starts off of tries right shoulder and turns into Trevor's left, as well as diving into the sand. So maybe a bit of hesitation as to who's going to play that ball. And then by the time a decision is made and it's obvious that it's Trevor's, he's a little late to get forward on it. Try very excited to tie the game up. It's a great swing. It bounces real high and real deep. It's good offense. Sixes. I guess I probably don't need to call that out because you can see it in the bottom of the screen. A little stare down back because that was also hit hard. Taps him up. 7-6. Cheeky. So that ball that Trevor took on 2 earlier, that he gave it away super early, Troy does the absolute opposite. Everybody on the planet thinks this ball is getting set. There's no jump on this attack. If Chase happens to read this and jumps up, he's going to catch it and dunk it. But it's disguised really well. and it's to a good spot. As defender, Troy and Chase, there's probably some conversation like, oh, that's my ball. No, I can go play it. It's just a good spot, though. If they're set up 1-1 or really anything, you have to show block over there on the approaching hitter. It's just a perfect play. OT? I'd like to see a replay of this. I don't know if they show it. I'm guessing they don't. That felt like a cooler spike of the day than the other one. Troy in a good position there. Reads the deep middle swing, which Trevor's used a couple times, and he's gotten beat on it a couple and dug that really good one in game 1 that led to that goofy scramble play. Was in a good spot there, almost too good of a spot. Like he was a little bit early reaching to his left, and misses it off the platform to his right. Not close. 9-8. It's just kind of hanging around, but you feel like something's got to give pretty soon. Everything good there. Another good run by Troy. Like you're set up for a 1-1 there. The open spot on a really good tight set is maybe you can get something cutty by him. So Troy has to respect that and guard his half of the court. And Chase has just got to force that high. It's just a better shot than that particular defensive call can handle. Same story there. That middle run forces defender in the back to commit. With a big hitter like Chase, you still have to assume he can pound it either right or left. Your job as the defender, where try was, is to cover what your blocker isn't, which left that rollover back line open. Pulls the block and gets through. 10-10. Still a tight game here. Missed the serve, but Troy goes high hands, deep middle. That was a swing he was using a lot this tournament and very effective. Blocker gets up there. It's just a soft block back to your side. It happened earlier when Try blocked the one. And then he threw it up on 2 and Chase hit it out of bounds. Like with that high swing, you're just not getting blocked down for points. Good stat line there. Question that, Peel. As a blocker, you want to wait on the set. But if you have a big hitter and the set is good, it's an early peel. It does force the ball to your defender. But I think without a block there, he knows he can just go super hard. And does, and scores. I missed it, or the AVP missed it. Sure did. So Chase peels and gets a really good dig. In the few matches that I watched, like a couple of times and tried to break down, Troy's out of system on the move bump setting was cash every time. So here's another one. And then similar play, Trevor's got to get over to the cross, try his blocking line. Since Trevor just attacked this ball, he's on the move to switch momentum and get back to the line. No chance. Timeout at 13-10. Another look at that set, which is a dime. We're going to get another ad here. There was a breaking point in this match, and I don't know, or this game, and I don't know if that was it. or if Try and Trevor manage a couple more side outs, but game 2 gets blown wide open. And I don't know if that's the part that Will really keyed in on, because Troy makes some great plays coming down the stretch in a game that is in hand, but you want to stick it to your opponents as much as you can. So that is another side out. Looked like a late dive into the cross block, but was set up line. You might block a seam swing there, but had a lot of cross to get that ball to. Well executed. Another perfect bump set. I guess the argument there is potentially it's a little bit too tight. I think if Chase gets his feet under this, he could go over or around the blocker. He's broad jumping into it a little bit. Just has to take a whack at it. So 2-3. So I was wrong. It's still a little tight here. But the floodgates are about to open. Trust me. It's a good shot here. I always yell at my partners that ball should not bring the blocker into play. If you're going to hit the shot that's supposed to go over the blocker, hit it deep enough where they can't go and get to it. And then they yell at me because it scored a point, and they're absolutely right. If it's a tough play for that guy to make and he can't make it, scoring points is the name of the game. There's no real rhyme or reason to it, coming from somebody that 1 and 2 balls all day. There's some argument about this. It's a lift. I think they show a replay. He can play it again now. It catches, and he lifts it. So it's like, what do you want? You want to call it a double, a triple, or a lift? I don't know if they're trying to get a breather there, but I don't think they really had a leg to stand on. Big switch point here. 4-all's a lot different than 5-3, but it's going to be 5-3. It's that seam swing again that Troy is read and dug. Another maybe questionable peel. They weren't getting blocks on Troy, so maybe they felt like they could get some shots and go pick them up. I think he just sees this peel too early, where he's like committed to swing and now really committed to swing. If you hang out a little bit longer, maybe he gets shot in his head. And then if he tries to switch back to an aggressive swing, you can get some errors out of that. But Troy's a swing first player. And then if you reaffirm it by giving him an open net, he's just going to tee off. I think this is where the run really starts. 7-4 on that side out. Good serve. Catches him off guard here. Corner to opposite short corner. And he approaches this serve aggressively. So you think it's coming hard. Just kind of rolls over it. It's like a second serve in tennis. Eight 4. Very excited. I think, no, we get to see it. So a little bit out of system here. Very committed to using hands. I don't think it gets into a great spot. Another good pickup by Troy. I think everybody at this point knows that this match is well in hand. Troy gives it a little extra A little extra juice on the celebration. So it's just ball after ball over to Trevor's side. You get a block there. Sorry, I wanted to see this hitting percentage of 625. When we look at the stats afterwards, you'll see that Chase and Troy both played well and they have good stats, but Troy's stats with the amount of attacks that he had to sustain that hitting percentage is more impressive, I guess. 0-4, match point, and an ace up the line. Bit of a feeble attempt to go past that ball. It's still a really good serve, but maybe just hang on to some of that energy for the contender side. So that wraps that match up. Let me see if I can jump tabs here in some type of effective way. And the answer to that is no. You guys want to see some of my work spreadsheets? Let me try to get out of this. Okay, here we go. So, oh man, I should have been better prepared for this part. So if we go and look at stats here, Troy and Chase stats. So I told you the stats in set one for try or no bueno. The usage here is equal on this side, and both of them attacked pretty well for a really high team percentage. And they dug an additional ball and blocked more balls, controlled block here, and more aces. So it's just like all trending in their direction. Set two ends up being the complete opposite for Try. He hits 1,000, but he only gets 2 attacks. And Trevor's kind of middle of the road there with a couple errors. Chase got more attacks in game 2. So here it was kind of serve aggressive, see who we can key in on. I mean, pick your poison, right? Chase played well. That's a good hitting percentage. Gave you a few more errors, I guess, is the silver lining there. Troy played great in game 2 with some digs, and then, terminating at a super high percentage. So just to give you an idea where this was in the bracket, I didn't want to show this earlier to be a complete spoiler, but this was the third match for both of them. This pushed Troy and Chase into the semifinals unscathed. So they get to take the rest of the afternoon off. Try and Trevor get thrown down into the contenders, as well as on the opposite side of the bracket, which forced a tough matchup here with Andy and Phil getting back to the final. So really good match by Troy and Chase. They played a lot of international volleyball together. Obviously, Try and Trevor have done the same, being, I would say, the U.S.'s foremost Olympic contenders for 2024. But Chase and Troy are trending in the right direction. I think they're playing well. Troy is making some really good defensive moves, which I think was his weak point earlier in his career. He started as a blocker. I know he played a tournament with DR, who's a true defender. So having to switch positions, the way that he jumps, he probably came onto the scene mostly as a blocker, and transitioning back to defense, he's starting to make some significant strides. So I would expect them to be contenders in a lot of tournaments go forward this year. Will is now on probation from recommending matches because that was kind of gross throughout. I didn't think it was very clean, high-level volleyball, but I appreciate the suggestion. I will see you this weekend at the Grand Sands Open in Loveland, Ohio. Some good competition coming there. But definitely hop in. Let me know what you guys think. I love the comments. I love the feedback. If I know you personally, shoot me a text. If I don't, comment on the YouTube stream. Find me on Facebook, whatever it might take. I like doing this stuff. If it has any value to you, let me know, or things that could be improved upon. I hope to get a couple other people to start jumping in on these to get their perspective. Looking at you, Graham Wren. because he's fun people to talk volleyball with. And I know there's a lot of those people out there. So different insights and people viewing the matches differently is extremely valuable. And I would love to incorporate more of that. But thanks again for checking in, everybody. Hopefully you liked it. And we'll do it again next time. So let me know. Again, we have, I guess, a couple weeks off, and then New Orleans is at the end of the month. So I will get to the women's finals match. I haven't watched that quite yet. I know the outcome, and it was a little lopsided. I'll probably just stream and watch it in real time to get natural reactions of what's going on. So that might take an extra minute because I'll probably dive back into some of the plays and take a closer look. But thanks for checking in, guys.